today's topic is you must find a market cap. Now, Mike, I am in Silicon Valley. I live in San Francisco. I see here the vibe is to create new products. And I see many of the businesses I have met in the last 25, 30 years, I see so many products are being created and people are just in love of their product. What do you think? What do you have to say to these people? Do you want to say something about finding a market gap?
Well, I'm going to quote from Jay Abraham, who's I've been following and learning from him for the last 6 years. I was a bit slow on catching up to him. But he says, don't fall in love with your company. Don't fall in love with your products. Fall in love with your customers, with your clients, right? Most people are trying to swim in the ocean where everybody else is marketing. They don't have, let's say, a differentiation, a USP, right? When you look at their USP, USP is unique. Unique is, it's a unique word, okay? I'm not quite sure how else other to put it. Unique means totally different. Nobody else has it. They say, we do this and we do that. Yeah, but are you saying nobody else in the world does that? No, other people, then it's not unique, guys.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is not only it's swimming in the, like there's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. I think he talks about how we should not just go into the red ocean and just create a blue ocean also, right? And that means is that you need to create a non-disruptive creation also. Just because you have a product doesn't mean that is going to take away something from the others. We have so much of abundance and so much of money in the world that maybe your product, if it solves a big problem of someone, which people even sometimes don't know, then you can achieve that. So that's our talk about finding a market gap. Market gap doesn't mean only geography. Market gap can be unearthing their internal pain point, which was not even known to them. Correct?
It might be an idea for you to just, you said blue ocean, red ocean, or red ocean, blue ocean, but does everybody understand what red ocean is? Could you explain that a little bit more, please? What is red ocean?
Red ocean is where we have all people, companies competing on the same pie, and lots of stuff. Everybody is introducing and going in for the same pie, and there's a lot of commoditization going on. There is no differentiation. There is nothing, and everybody is bleeding, and everyone is still trying to get into that thing. And another thing which is there, a red ocean, is the mentality that everyone is behaving the same way. And this is how the market works. This is how the world works. And I will also behave the same way as the other people would. But this blue ocean strategy says is that we need to create a new world for us if we think different, if we think and understand the pain of the customer and understand what actually, even sometimes pain like Steve Jobs did, not even people know, but you have your intuition to move on. Now, everybody cannot be a Steve Jobs and a technologist to create something, but this is what the difference is. What have I summarized it right, or would you like to say something?
I would say you're right. It comes down to differentiation. The people out there, they look at everything, as you said, as a commodity, and a commodity is a liter of milk, a pound of potatoes, a kilo of rice, a ton of pig iron. It's a commodity. And when it's the same quantity, the same quality, it's always down to price. So when you're in red ocean, you're in a price war.
Yeah.
When you're in blue ocean, you're creating value. A lot of people, I think, don't understand the difference between value, cost.
Yeah.
Value is what you get. Cost is what you pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
If people don't see value in what they're getting from you, then the question of price will always come up.
Yeah.
But if you are showing, if you're showing massive value, price is never a problem.
Yeah. And I think I agree. And that's how we find a market gap, you're saying, right? And then another thing which I wanted to talk to you about, and I noted down here, and when I was going through these things and we were discussing, and I went through a quote, which I think this is a person called Dean Cam who wrote this thing, who said this thing in Time magazine many, many years back. He was the inventor of Segway, that the scooter which you see in the mall, all these people, I think security guards take that. And this has not been a success, but he said one thing very profound, which every inventor or every technologist, everybody in Silicon Valley and otherwise who is creating products and falling in love with should read again, is that one of the hardest truths for any technologist to hear is that success or failure in the business is rarely determined by the quality of the technology. Like, is this target for our thing? And do you think he is right?
Well, he was pretty successful at the end, so I would say he probably got it right.
Okay, yeah. Great. And I also wanted to talk about another subject. Now, we have talked about technology. When we talk about how to find this market, we talked about blue ocean and all that. Now, one of the things which I've heard very, very renowned marketers say is find the bleeding neck to you and find the current. We are not, most of the companies, most of the solopreneurs, most of the small and medium businesses do not have the power and the money and the pockets to go in for 10 years without earning the money and then build the market from scratch. Most of us are trying to get something which people need and providing that service and getting something and building it from there. Am I correct that finding a bleeding neck is can be a good strategy?
I think it's an excellent strategy. Again, you brought it up. Tell people who are listening, what exactly is a bleeding neck?
Bleeding neck is that I have a pain. I'm an entrepreneur. Say, if we have a bunch of customers or a group of people where we know they hang around, where we know the cluster of people and demographic and all that, these people have some pain which they are not able to solve right now. And they are looking for a solution. That's a bleeding neck. Here, you don't have to go and create, you don't have to go and create a new market. You don't have to go and educate. It needs to be solved, which nobody else has solved, or maybe nobody else have even figured out that this is pain exists. But the moment you have that bleeding neck, understand that bleeding neck, you go and solve that. That's a big market for anyone, and that can be a way to find a market gap. And that's what I have to say. What do you think about it?
I'm going to make a comment on your marketing. When you say people are looking for the solution, once you've got your demographics, it actually splits down into 4 groups. The first group are the people who know they have a problem and are actually looking to buy the solution. They know they got a problem, but that's only 3% of the market. Yeah. And every man and their dog are marketing to the 3%, and they're telling them, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. They're shouting. Apparently, the last I heard, people are inundated with about 10,000 marketing messages a day.
Yeah.
So everything we do is an interruption. And if your interruption is not significant enough to break the pattern of people saying, not interested, not interested, not interested, not my, not in, they just blank them out. So your message has to be unique. So 3% are actually in buying mode. They know they got a problem. They've searched a solution. Now they're looking to buy the solution. Only 17% or another 17% are actually looking for a solution. They know they got a problem and they're actively looking for a solution. They're not in buying mode yet. They're just looking for a solution.
Yeah. Fantastic. And I think another thing which I wanted to talk to you about was, and I read in Seth Godin's marketing book and a blog that, when we are talking about market gap, we're not only talking about unearthing the new pain points or finding finding a bleeding neck and all that. we are also trying to find where to place our office or our company. If suppose you are a restaurant, or you, like, he gives a very beautiful example of a restaurant. He says that on Fisherman's Wharf, there is one restaurant after another. Is that the smart place to open a business right next to all the others? And he says that it's like at the bookstore, there are 10,000s of books, hundreds of thousands of books, one after each other. Is this the best place? Yes, it is the best place. That's why they don't sell the books in the Macy's or in the dollar stores and all that, right? They sell books and the, because when people go there with that intention to buy, when people go to Fisherman Wharf, the idea of the person is, it's not when or why and whether I need it or not, or if I need this food or not. It's a question of which of these restaurants. So we have a stream of customers coming in, and then we pick that thing from there with our differentiations and all that, with all that. But that placing ourselves in the right where the flow of customers is coming is the right thing. And he says, and I like that a lot. And the one important thing which I noted down for sharing with everyone is, the biggest competitor most marketers face is none. And I faced it myself, that I wanted to be the Tony Robbins of immigrants, right? So I wanted to do something great for immigrants here in the United States and America and Canada. I did a lot. But if I have no competition, that can also mean that there is no market. Am I correct?
Yep. Maybe there's no market.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got first mover advantage.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So you can look at it. But something you said that triggered a story that we do things for pain. And it's about a guy, and he goes to meet his friend, and he's sitting on the veranda and they're having something cold to drink. And lying at their feet is his friend's dog, and the dog's groaning. The dog's, He says, "What's wrong with the dog?" Says he's lying on a nail. So obvious question, why doesn't he move? He says, well, it's not hurting him enough. And your clients are the same. If the pain of whatever they've got isn't hurting them enough, they're not going to do anything about it.
Awesome. That's a great example. Okay, thank you very much. I think we have covered this topic today, and we will keep talking on these discussions again in the future. But this was our second of our entrepreneurial must series. And thank you for this session, Mike. And it has been great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Sandeep.